Hey guys, let's get more news about Warriors, but first, don't forget to subscribe and leave your like. Steph returns to Warriors practice, expected to play an opener. Warriors fans can relax and sleep a little easier at night. Stephen Curry returned to practice Sunday and is expected to be good to go when Golden State begins the 2024-25 NBA season in Portland on Wednesday. The two-time NBA MVP had missed one preseason game with a sprained right index finger that he initially hurt last week. Curry wore a protective wrap on his finger against the Los Angeles Lakers on Tuesday before tearing it off midway through the game. That caused some concern for Dub Nation, but all indications are that Curry is fine and will be on the court against the Trail Blazers for the season tip-off. "I liked seeing Steph Curry scrimmage and being healthy," Kerr said after practice at Chase Center on Sunday. "That was the main reason that we scrimmaged for as long as we did. So we got a good run, he got a good run." The Warriors have spent most of training camp trying to adjust to life without Klay Thompson, who is with the Dallas Mavericks now. When Curry got hurt, the initial reaction was for Golden State to hold its collective breath. When the injury was deemed to be minor, folks in the blue and gold breathed a sigh of relief. Preseason stats don't mean much in the big picture, but the Warriors' 36-year-old point guard hasn't exactly been very sharp. In 4 tune-up games this year, Curry averaged 11 points, his lowest since he was a rookie in 2009-10. The NBA General Manager survey dropped on Tuesday, offering very little for the Golden State Warriors, who failed to feature in many of the 50 questions posed. The Warriors didn't receive the most votes in any of team-related questions, with superstar Stephen Curry the only Golden State player at the top of any response. The 2x MVP was unsurprisingly voted as the league's best pure shooter, the best player at moving without the ball, the NBA's best leader, and the player GMs would most want taking a shot with the game on the line. While Curry may remain highly respected across the league, some of his teammates weren't given the same love in the GM survey. Here are 4 players who could count themselves desperately unlucky not to be featured. 1. An agenda against Draymond Green? As outlined here on Tuesday, Draymond Green's omission from the defensive part of the survey simply has to be down to his 2 suspension-worthy acts last season, not because of his actual basketball ability. A year ago, Green was voted the 3rd best defender in the NBA, the 4th best interior defender, and the 2nd most versatile defender. Yet despite lifting Golden State's defense from 24th to 8th following his return from suspension mid-season, the former DPOY is now out of the votes entirely. Puzzling to say the least. 2. Young duo not expected to take a major leap. Second-year guard Brandon Podziemski has already stated his desire to be in the most improved conversation this season, while the Warriors could have another legitimate MIP candidate in 4th-year forward Jonathan Kuminga. However, general managers around the league don't appear optimistic on the potential of either taking a significant leap this season. In the survey of which young player will have a breakout season, a whopping 18 players received at least 1 vote, led by Oklahoma City Thunder forward Jalen Williams. Warriors extend Moses Moody on 3-year, $39 million deal. Golden State Warriors guard Moses Moody has agreed to a 3-year, $39 million rookie contract extension with the franchise, CEO of Clutch Sports, Rich Paul, told ESPN on Sunday night. Warriors officials and Paul have been negotiating a new deal for Moody, who is in the final year of a rookie contract he signed after being drafted with the number 14 pick in 2021. Moody has developed into a key, reliable rotation player for Steve Kerr during this year's training camp and is expected to receive an enhanced role for the Warriors this upcoming campaign. Last season, Moody averaged 8 points in 17.5 minutes in 66 games played, setting career highs in scoring, playing time, rebounds, steals, and blocks. At the end of that season, Kerr said he wanted to see Moody become a more aggressive shooter, especially on catch-and-shoot shots. Moody averaged 15.5 points in 20 minutes through the preseason, including 3 starts. He shot 45.6% from the floor and 39.4% from 3 on 5.5 attempts. Kerr has been vocal about how impressive Moody has been in training camp and throughout the preseason. "He's playing great," Kerr said. "He's gotten so much better in so many ways. We've always loved his character, his work ethic. This is the most confidence he's played with." While Kerr said Moody is in line to play a big role for us, he also offered a caveat. "But so are a lot of other guys," Kerr said. "We're sitting in that coach's room every day saying, how are we going to play all these guys? Because they all deserve to play. I've asked all of them to play their hardest, make it difficult for us." Warriors reportedly had interest in pairing Stephen Curry with 6x All-Star. The Golden State Warriors were heavily involved in trade speculation during the offseason, most notably surrounding 9x All-Star Paul George and Utah Jazz forward Lauri Markkanen. Having missed out on acquiring either player, there's plenty of intrigue on what the Warriors may now do with a deep roster that appears in need of a consolidation trade prior to the midseason deadline. While Golden State were constantly linked to moves for George and then Markkanen, there was far less information on their interest in another All-Star in the form of DeMar DeRozan. According to Sam Amick and Anthony Slater of The Athletic, the Warriors were one of 5 teams who showed an interest in adding DeRozan. DeMar DeRozan, who league sources say explored scenarios with the Philadelphia 76ers, Miami Heat, San Antonio Spurs, and Warriors in search of a market value deal, had grown more fond of the Sacramento idea as time went on, Amick and Slater wrote. DeRozan ultimately joined the Pacific rival Sacramento Kings on a 3-year, $73.90 million contract, having been involved in a 3-team sign-and trade that sent former Warrior Harrison Barnes to the San Antonio Spurs. It's interesting to wonder how the Warriors would have manufactured a DeRozan addition. Perhaps it would have included 2022 All-Star Andrew Wiggins, who is on a similar salary, or maybe they could have tried to get DeRozan as part of a different Klay Thompson sign-and trade. Golden State turned their franchise legend into 2 valuable rotation players, Kyle Anderson and Buddy Hield, in a 6-team sign-and trade, but maybe DeRozan could have been an alternative had the 35-year-old been willing. It's also interesting to ponder how DeRozan would have fit as a Warrior. His methodical mid-range style doesn't necessarily complement Steve Kerr's offense, yet he would have undoubtedly filled the void of adding another offensive star next to Curry. DeRozan averaged at least 24 points in each of his 3 seasons with the Chicago Bulls, having also proved one of the most durable stars in the league with at least 68 games in 8 of the past 9 years. While he only shot 33.3% from beyond the arc last season, DeRozan did show a greater willingness to take threes with 2.8 per game, his highest in 6 seasons. Combine that with much improved playmaking in recent years, and perhaps DeRozan would have been a better fit with the Warriors than first thought. Instead, the 15-year veteran will be a direct rival, with the Warriors set to face DeRozan and the Kings for the first time on January 5 at Chase Center. And you, fan? What do you think of the situation of DeMar DeRozan? Leave your opinion in the comments.